When you speak to your dog, you believe you are sharing a language. You tell them you love them, you explain your day, and you wait for that iconic head tilt as if they are processing every syllable. But according to the latest breakthroughs in canine psychoacoustics, your dog has never heard a single word you've said. In their parallel reality, your voice isn't a collection of nouns and verbs, it is a symphony of intent. While you see a conversation, your dog is executing a vocal translation protocol that scans your pitch, rhythm, and chemical aura for secrets you didn't even know you were telling. For years, we've treated our dogs like toddlers who haven't learned to speak yet, but the scientific truth is much more sophisticated. Your dog doesn't process language semantically, they process it spatially and emotionally. When you say the word walk, their brain doesn't look up a definition. Instead, it recognizes a specific acoustic silhouette. Over the next 8 minutes, we're going to dismantle the myth of the English-speaking pet to reveal the high-stakes science of how they actually hear you. We'll reveal the 165 words threshold and the shocking proof of how they learn words through inference, decode why your tone of voice is actually a biological weapon, and explain the startling reason why your dog tilts their head when you speak, and it has nothing to do with confusion. Prepare to rethink every conversation you've ever had with your companion, because once you understand the intonational blueprint they use to read your soul, you'll realize that your voice is their most important map of reality. To understand how your voice is translated, we have to look at the specialized hardware inside your dog's skull. While humans possess a semantic brain designed to store millions of arbitrary definitions, your dog operates on what we call dual-channel processing. When you speak, your dog's brain splits your voice into two separate streams of data. The left hemisphere of their brain scans for the phonetic silhouette, the unique shape of the sounds you make, but simultaneously, the right hemisphere is performing a high-fidelity emotional frequency audit. They aren't listening to the meaning of your sentence, they are measuring the vibrational density of your tone. This is the hidden reason why you can say "I love you" in a harsh, angry tone and your dog will cower in fear, or why you can say "You're a terrible dog" in a high-pitched, excited squeal and they will wag their tail in delight. To your dog, the word is just the packaging, but your tone is the actual product. Think of your voice as a carrier wave. In their parallel reality, the words are like the static on a radio station, but your emotional energy is the music playing underneath. Your dog is biologically incapable of being lied to by your words because their brain is hardwired to prioritize the sonic fingerprint of your feelings over the vocabulary of your language. They don't just hear you, they are performing a real-time acoustic diagnosis of your internal state. But if they don't use a dictionary, does that mean they are lexically blind? Not at all. In fact, canine cognitive science has established a specific biological benchmark. The average dog has the capacity to understand roughly 165 distinct phonetic triggers. For super learners, like the elite border collies, that number can skyrocket to over 1,000. But here's the catch. They're not learning definitions, they are performing what we call lexical anchoring. To your dog, a word like ball isn't a noun describing a spherical object, it is a neural shortcut to a specific outcome. They don't see the word, they see the result. The proof of their mastery lies in a phenomenon called fast mapping. In a famous study, a dog was presented with 10 familiar toys and one completely new object. When the owner used a word the dog had never heard before, the dog didn't just stand there confused. Through a high-level process of elimination logic, the dog inferred that the new sound must belong to the new object. This is the inference engine of their brain at work. In their parallel reality, they are constantly playing a high-stakes game of biostatistics. They are calculating the probability that a specific sound shape you make coincides with a specific change in their environment. They don't need to speak your language to read your mind. They simply use your voice as a predictive algorithm. They are listening for the key that unlocks the next event in their day. But this leads us to the ultimate misunderstood behavior in the canine world. Why, when you speak this predictive language, does your dog perform that strange, inquisitive head tilt? The answer isn't curiosity, it's a physical audio zoom. You speak a specific word, perhaps treat or park, and like a perfectly timed piece of choreography, your dog tilts their head to the side. To a human, this is the pinnacle of cuteness, a sign of puzzled interest, but in the parallel reality of your dog, the tilt is a sophisticated acoustic triangulation protocol. Your dog isn't tilting their head because they don't understand you, they're tilting it because they are trying to see your sound. Biologists have identified two critical reasons for this movement. First is the muzzle obstruction theory. If you place your fist in front of your nose and look in a mirror, you'll realize that your own muzzle blocks your view of someone's lower face. Since dogs rely heavily on your micro-expressions to decode your emotional frequency we discussed earlier, they must tilt their head to move their snout out of the line of sight. They are literally trying to see your lips move to verify the phonetic shape of the word. The second reason is spatial ear alignment. A dog's ears are designed to detect minute differences in sound arrival times. By shifting the angle of their head, they are manually adjusting their pinnae or ear flaps to create a 3D map of the sound. They're performing a physical audio zoom. In their framework of perception, the tilt is a high-speed search for contextual clarity. They are aligning their eyes with your mouth and their ears with your frequency to ensure that no part of your biological broadcast is lost. It is a moment of total concentration where they are tuning their entire body to the channel of your existence. They aren't confused, they're becoming a high-definition receiver for your soul. But this leaves us with the ultimate question. If they are this obsessed with translating us, what is the final vocal archetype you represent in their world? To find out, we must look at the conclusion of this biological symphony. In the end, what is the ultimate truth of this acoustic journey? If your dog isn't listening to your vocabulary, and if your words are merely shadows of intent, what is actually happening in those quiet moments when you talk to them about your day? The reality is that you have stopped being a speaker and have become the primary composer of their reality. Your dog has looked past the limitations of human grammar and made a profound biological choice. They have decided that your voice is the only sonic compass they will ever need. When they tilt their head to see your breath move, or when they react to the rhythmic rise of your excitement, they aren't looking for a dictionary. They are seeking the symphony of your soul. You are the melody that tells them the world is safe. You are the low-frequency vibration that signals it's time to rest. By understanding that you are the guardian of the intonational blueprint, you've achieved a level of connection that few truly grasp. You've realized that your dog doesn't love your language. They love the vibrational trace of your presence. You aren't just talking to a pet, you are providing the living score to the life of a creature that has tethered its very sanity to the sound of your heart. Before you go, what is the one nonsense word or nickname that always makes your dog tilt their head with excitement? Share your story in the comments below, and let's keep decoding their world together. We'll see you in the next reality shift.